Salutations, Wanderers. I'm Chevalier, and I bid you welcome to the Situation and Guide of Scotland. This is part 2, the expansion guide of Scotland, and now let's just dive into it. So, we already talked about allies, but France, Castile, Burgundy. Usually, France is your best ally to fight off against England. Remember that in this patch and more patches depending on situation, I'll share my ally England, and that might cause some friction. That will mean that you'll need more allies to basically keep England in check. Now, let's go into your first expansion and where should you expand first. So, Tyrone, Osler. So basically just start fabricating claims on this, guys. It's recommended that you actually check this battle first and see who likes whom. So basically click here and you see that Osler is friendly, Tyrone is friendly, Sligonian is is friendly as well. So everybody is friendly towards England. But now let's check the English opinion. So England is neutral. So England is neutral. Is protective. So they might get vassalage of Tyrone underway an alliance as well. Sligo is neutral. Clonicard is neutral. Tolmond is neutral. Cork is neutral. Talisra is neutral, and Kildare is protective. So England might get an alliance with either Tyrone or Kildare, but as you can see here, it's possible with just one of them, either Tyrone or Kildare, simply because they rival each other. So they're not going to be able to get, England's not going to be able to get an alliance with both of them. Hopefully Kildare is going to win. If you look here, they both have border friction. So that is that. So yeah, they both have border friction. Both of them are to some degree annoying. So try to be careful here. Other than this, fabricate claim, attack, fabricate claim, attack, fabricate claim, attack. Pretty standard stuff. If you want to move your troops, my recommendation, if you want to move your troops to the Leinster, and you can move them overland, just get access from Cork, then just move your troops here. Then keep on rolling all over Scotland and take all the lands from Scotland. That will allow you to increase your base tax, manpower, etc. So you can get more stuff. Now, for England, this should be done, of course, whenever possible, but as I would say a third priority, right? So your first priority is England, second priority is Denmark. Attacking Denmark shouldn't happen anytime soon. It would be quite impossible for you to do this simply because you're not going to be able to move troops. An option that you have is to send troops to Orkney. Just declare war, send a troop to Orkney, that is the war goal. Then siege this so you can get the modifiers. They're not going to be able to move troops over here and you're going to get the overtime modifiers. They might be able to siege you, to blockade you, and that is going to be troublesome. But yeah, it's doable. Of course, this is better if Sweden declares war on Denmark and they have problems. Then you can probably attack this, and with some luck you're going to be able to debark troops on Norway here and siege some lands from Norway as well. Then perhaps peace out for I don't know, Reykjavik here, and peace out for Adger, or I don't know, Borgholuzan basically. This is good as well. Either active Borgholuzan is better though, because you're gonna be able to get claims on Skane as well and this land here. So you're gonna be able to move into Denmark quite faster. This should be able to. Yes, you can get this. To some point you can actually even get Holland basically, or Skane as well. Oh no, Skane is not possible. So basically Borgholuzan is the best option here. As for Reykjavik is doable as well. So you're fine. So this is the path to kill Denmark. Now for England, here comes the tricky part. England at this point in time, they should have about 20,000 24,000 troops, if I'm not mistaken. Right, so if you check England at this point in time, you'll see that they have 24. I'm a fucking god. So they have 24,000 troops. Renowned manpower. remember that England has events for the Lollards, which is gonna get them religious rebels, and as well for the what's it called, the War of the Roses. So basically, England is gonna be wrecked by rebels. If those rebels hit, that is your cue. If they're at war with France and those rebel hits, just go for it. Like, they're not gonna have enough troops on the mainland to fight over against. They're gonna switch troops to Foucault, for example, to fight against England, and they're not gonna have that many troops on the mainland to fight against your troops. So just move in, carpet siege, then send some troops to March, send some troops to London. You're gonna have the necessary amount of troops to siege both the capital and marches, and just keep on going and keep on killing England, right? This should be done and it's available. Especially if they have rebels, if they have problems, it's doable. England in this patch gets into trouble lots of times. Like as Ireland, when I play as Scotland, I was able to take London from England quite easily with no issues. So it's doable. It's quite doable. Now, what provinces should take? My recommendation is to take London. To take London because you need to take London simply because there's a cardinal seat there, so you're gonna be able to play the Korea game. At the same time, you're gonna be able to switch your trade node to the English Channel trade node and have a decent amount of trade power here with the help of the Thames estuary and the center of trade. So you're gonna be able to gain, I would say, about 15% trade power in the English Channel trade node, which is gonna give you what? 2 ducats from trade. And at the current time you make 0.07, and that's without you pushing from here and pushing more lands, pushing from Lubeck as well. So yeah, getting into this node early, it's quite doable. Now, let's talk about the HRE. So this attacks, I mean, you're gonna attack these guys at the third option. This is gonna be your the second option, and this is your first option. If England is in trouble and you can attack them, drop everything and attack England. Now, these opportunities aren't gonna arrive in time, but when they're gonna arrive, I have no idea. The War of the Roses might not trigger, the Lollards might not trigger as well, so that's gonna be troublesome. But the expansion into Ireland should be stable. Same can be said about expansion into Denmark, depending on the arrivals. As you can see here, the rival is England, Lithuania, and Israel. So yeah, most likely Denmark is not gonna have problems. If they actually would have rival Poland, which can be done perhaps later on, if they rival Poland, no, it's not possible because the Denmark is not gonna have any problems against Poland, which is not gonna allow Sweden to break free. So yeah, in this campaign right now, the way it looks, Denmark is gonna have Sweden as a PU for a long time. So that's gonna be quite troublesome. Now, attacking and taking Orkney and moving into Agder is still doable. Agder, Bohursan, Reykjavik, with the option that I told you before, just attack, stay in Orkney, and have the war score tick down. Now, this is a little bit troublesome because it's gonna take you a little bit of time. By time I mean 5 years, or until the war score gets up, or you have the call for peace as well, and some other fights with the navies. Again, it's a bit troublesome to say the least. So yeah, do this if you know that you're not gonna attack somebody for the next, let's say, 6-7 years, I would say. So basically, after you have to attack England, and take a lance from England and have a truce, or you don't want to move, no, that's just it. Like, preferably you'll want to move into the Irish nations rather than go for a war against Denmark for just some provinces. So it's better for you to fight for this lands here. But yeah, so I approximate that you should be able to take London in the next 15 to 20 years. 15 to 20 years, I would say that is the time that you should have, at the latest, have London. The Lollard is gonna happen, the event. The Same goes for the War of the Roses. In the meantime, just advance into this, guys. Remember that you can actually bypass the alliances that they have with England by attacking one of the allies. So Tyrone is allied with England, but they're allied with Cork. And you attack Cork, they call in Tyrone, and you just take Tyrone with no CB. You're gonna pay some aggressive expansion there, but it still is better than just having him there to save England, because they're gonna be a thorn in your side with even 5,000 troops. If all of the troops from England are moving over all the way to France to fight, you don't really want to safeguard your rear against Tyrone, right? You just want to focus on these guys here on the mainland. So killing these guys and making sure that England doesn't have any alliances with any Irish nations, it's quite favorable. Now, after you have taken England, once you have attacked England, taken London, attacked all of these guys, taken Reykjavik, taken Borholsan from Norway, your path of expansion should be quite clear. England is still gonna pose a problem, so in a peace deal, try to take as many lands as possible. By as many lands as possible, I mean taking England, at the same time taking anything you have claims on. My recommendation will be to take these small lands here. Now, you should do this until the moment you can actually vassalize England. So at the point in time you can vassalize England, just vassalize them and pay the points. Remember that if they are big, and they are big enough, you're gonna suffer tons of aggressive expansion there, so try to be careful at that point in time. Another way you can do it is just simply take a huge amount of lands from England. Right, so take a huge amount of lands from England on claims. Do not core them, declare war again on England, forcefully vassalize England. Again, there are plenty of tricks that you can pull off, but the main gist is that you want to have England as your vassal, simply because you can form the British nation diplomatically, and you're gonna integrate England for free. But remember, they have to have less than 28 cities. So basically, I have no idea how many provinces they have right now, but yeah. With this means that you can actually feed some lands from France to England, and they're gonna be annexed for free, so that is good as well. Now, this is gonna be a long war, and taking all over England should take you quite a while. By quite a while, I mean 50 years, I think, to take 50 to 60 years, maybe even more, to take over England and actually vassalize England in a war. In the meantime, Denmark, Sweden, Norway. Pretty much straightforward. If you have taken Borhulsland, fabricate claims and attack them. If Sweden broke free from Denmark, it should be quite easy for you to attack them, because they're gonna be in a pinch for troops. They might have some allies in Poland or Muscovy, even Novgorod I would say, but they should still be able to be killed relatively easily. Same goes for Denmark. If you have a bigger fleet, my recommendation is that you actually only have, let's say, 6 cogs and the rest build carracks, so you can actually fight these guys here. It's even more important if you actually manage to bait their fleets into the lands that are not part of basically the Baltic Sea. Yeah. So basically, that if you're not part of the Baltic Sea, they're not gonna get a bonus for the Gallic, so you can actually bait them here in Skagerrak, or even in the southern Norwegian Sea. You can bait them in there so that you can have them get the death modifiers. That is doable as well. But yeah, slowly advancing into Denmark, Sweden, Norway, then all over to Novgorod. If on your order, Teutonic Order if this exists, but yeah. Slowly move your way up to this side. Now, against Sweden, it's recommended to actually release either Gotland or Finland as a vassal and start vassal feeding them, so you can actually use some of your diplo points there. So you release Gotland, feed Gotland, release Finland, feed Finland. If you release Finland, you release it from Abo, so you can feed the Gotland lands and feed these lands here as well, of Bellinges, Kane, etc. so you'll be able to feed tons of lands, and at the same time you can declare war on Sweden for their course, which is gonna be even great. You might, depends on if they have lands from Novgorod, you can take one of these lands from Novgorod, so you can actually fabricate claims on Novgorod or Moscow here, so you can fight against Moscow as well. But yeah, pretty standard stuff, and the way that you should expand here is gonna take you all the way up into the late game. 100 years, even more, 150 years, 1600s, till you actually reach Muscovy, and you're at par to fight Muscovy. Now, for the New World. Now, the New World can be reached from here if you have exploration ideas and colonizing that. No, exploration ideas and tech 7 if I'm not mistaken. But either way, you need to have tech 7 here, so you can reach RX4 than this. So you need to take tech 7. Like, that's all I'm gonna say. Tech 7, you need the extra coring range. Now, you can also do it from Tothmont or Clanricarde here from Connacht. You can actually expand here, and you're gonna be able to reach this lands here and Bermuda as well. But you need tech 7 and of course exploration ideas, the 50% increase in range. Now, once you've taken all of this, just simply follow the guide and try to move south as well as much as possible into Caribbeans and fight get the colonial nation here, so that you'll stop Portugal or Castile from making one, because they're gonna have -20 for having for you being Catholic and having the Treaty of Tordesillas. You're gonna have plus 10 or something like that, and you're gonna have -20 settlers per year because of the Treaty of Tordesillas that the People State gives you. So you're gonna get a bonus in colonization here. So that's gonna stop them from building up. Same goes for Brazil, same goes for every region here. Just aim to have regions. As for priorities, Caribbean is first, followed by Mexico, so you can actually feed these lands here, followed by Brazil and all the way to the Incas, so you can actually get some sub-nations there. You can also move into the Incas from this side here by taking, let's say, Panama and building another what's called another colonial nation on this side, and they'll have the port on the other side as well. So that's gonna allow you to basically be able to expand into these lands here. Let's say build another colonize this and get against Quito. So pretty much standard stuff for colonization and exploration. Then in the late game, you're gonna move standard into these guys, India, China, Indochina, Malacca, Japan, basically expansion and colonization, like in that guide that I have on my channel. So just expand like that with no actual issues. Now, for the HRE, right? The HRE, you should try to become the HRE Emperor. You can check my guide again. Like, check my guides; they're really gonna save you tons of time to become the HRE Emperor. So, for the gist of it, improve relations with Trier, Cologne, and Mainz. Have relations improved to maximum. Have gifts, give them to them, so they have gifts and have alliances. That is going to allow you to raise your overall opinion to 200. That's going to allow you to become the HRE Emperor faster. As you can see here, if you have opinion to 200, it's doable. You can also get some missions from for what's it called, for diplomatic reputation, and also have a an advisor for diplomatic reputation. That's gonna help you get the votes to become the HRE Emperor as well. In my Irish campaign, I did become the HRE Emperor, and I was just a small Irish miner. So it's doable for you to become the HRE Emperor. Although I actually conquered all of Ireland before I became the HRE Emperor. But yeah, it's doable as well for becoming the HRE Emperor. Now, France. France is gonna be a difficult war. If you became the HRE Emperor and the Burgundian inheritance fired on your own side, it's gonna be golden. You'll be able to fight off France with not that many problems because you're gonna have the power. if it fired where you weren't the HRE Emperor, that will become a little bit troublesome. You're gonna have to ally Austria and fight off against France. Start conquering lands from France, at the same time free some lands of the from Austria, free and Francesco or whatever makes them feel happy, so you can actually keep them in the alliance, so you can actually attack France again. As for priorities, just take forts so that you don't have that many problems. So your priorities are forts simply because France has a huge amount of forts, so they need to be taken down, because otherwise, I guess, you're gonna have a huge amount of problems on your side. At the same time, try to ally Castile and Aragon or whoever rival France, so you can actually gain more power. You can also ally Provence if they want lands from France as well. Usually they want their core back, so that is doable as well. As for anything else, there's nothing much more to say. This is basically early to mid game, and that is your expansion into the early to mid game. Fighting all over England is gonna take you a while. Same goes for expanding into Norway, Sweden, Novgorod, Moscow, etc. It's gonna take you a while. As for your timetable, let's go for a timetable a little bit, and you'll say like this: the Irish miners should be taken down in 20 years. 20 to 25 years should be taken down, depending on if you're lucky or not, and how much development they have. England taken down 50 to 60 years, I would say. This guys here depends on your luck. Actually, same goes for England. It might take more depending on your luck, but should be done in 50 to 60 years. As for Norway and Sweden, you can take Norway, Sweden, Denmark out. If you're successful in your first war, it should be easy for you to kill the rest. If you're not successful in your first war, do not take Orkney, because you're just take Reykjavik, then declare another war and take Borhuslan. But Borhuslan is your first primary target, because you're gonna be able to establish a beachhead into Norway. For the timetable, I would say same as England, about 60 years. No, less than 60 years. I would say 90 years to take all of Sweden, Norway, and Denmark, to move on to Novgorod. I will say 90 years simply because it's gonna be a really trench warfare in this part of the world, simply because there are no more it's hard to get here. That tells all there is to it. It's hard to get to basically descend here to Borhuslan. It might be doable, it might not be doable, depends on your war score. And then attacking Novgorod, Muscovy, 150 years into the game, most like that, kill Muscovy. Hopefully Muscovy is not going to become that big. As for Poland and Lithuania here, I recommend getting on the throne when they have the PU, having your own guy on the throne, then claiming the throne, then getting a forceful PU against Poland and Lithuania, and then integrating him. Pretty standard stuff against Poland and Lithuania. Now, for France, the timetable is about the same as Muscovy, so I say 150 years you can actually squeeze France. Maybe less if you have the Bulgarian Inheritance event, and that's gonna be less. As for the New World, I can't give you a timetable, depends on your own abilities to conquer the New World, but probably I would be able to pull it about 50 years, 50 to 60 years, have this guy's conquered as well, once I actually moved into the Caribbean. Alright, so once I'm able to move into a new world, mathematically speaking, 50 to 60 years, I'll be able to conquer all of these lands, basically. Remember that having many colonists is gonna cost you some cash. It's like 2 ducats per colonist, so you have 3 colonists, so you're gonna have to have 6 ducats on reserve for the colonies, so you're gonna need a decent amount of cash, but you should be able to gain that cash if you have power over the channel trade node, English channel trade node, so you can actually get more trade power there. Anything else? These lands here, the power over the English channel trade node, I mean, Nothing much more to see here. Should be done about in trade, but it's quite standard. I mean, moving to an English channel trade node, then start pushing, right? So just push from one part to another to an English channel trade node. Again, there's nothing much more to see here, just standard stuff. So, any other things to say is careful. Careful of aggressive expansion. Although you'll be able to have England basically as a nation, as the British Islands basically, and you're gonna be able to safeguard yourself with ships. But if a coalition really hits, you're gonna be really strapped for ships. You're gonna need a huge fleet to fight them. It's gonna be troublesome. You're gonna have problems. Again, careful with the aggressive expansion. Although technically you can actually safeguard yourself if you only acquire lands on the English mainland, let's call it like this. So basically the British Islands. You're gonna be again, if a coalition really hits, you're really gonna be in trouble. You need, I would say, 20 carracks just to fight them off. 20 carracks, just for you to be able to fight them off and have a huge fleet of about 15 ships. 50 ships, not 15, 50 ships. So 20 carracks, the rest, and the rest should be 3 ships. And some galleys, I guess. Some galleys, some cogs. But yeah, this is the illustration and guide of Scotland. Hope you enjoyed this. If you enjoyed this, consider liking, subscribing, and commenting. I really appreciate any feedback, so just try to comment at least to tell me what you think is good and what do you think I should improve. But yeah, I'm Chevalier. I hope you enjoyed this, guys, and I'll see you next time. Ciao.